Hello everyone, I am Shupriya Ghoshal, faculty member of Sri Ramakrishna Institute of Science and Technology. Today I have discussed about the topic that is bearing capacity of soil. In previous part I have already discussed about the first method that is Terzaghi's bearing capacity method. And in this slide I have discussed about the second method that is IS code method. The general formula of this method is QF equal to CNC plus sigma dash NQ plus half into gamma B in gamma RW. Here sigma dash means effective unit weight of soil situated above the base and RW equal to RW2. The formula of RW2 equal to 0.5 into 1 plus ZW2 by B. It has been recommended by the Indian standard. When the water table is situated at a depth D1 below the ground level, where D1 less than D or D2 above the base of the footing, such that D1 plus D2 equal to D. D means total depth. We have sigma dash equal to gamma D1 plus gamma sat into D2 minus gamma W into D2. So finally we can say that gamma into D1 plus gamma dash into D2. This alternative method is preferred to the methods which has two reduction factor, that is RW1 and RW2. The formula of RW1 is 0.5 into 1 plus ZW1 by D and RW2 equal to 0.5 into 1 plus ZW2 by B. In this slide, I have discussed about the method for computing bearing capacity. From IS code, IS 6403-1981 recommended a bearing capacity equation. The code recognized depending upon the deformation associated with the load and the extent of development of failure surface. Three types of failure of soil support beneath the foundations. They are general shear failure, local shear failure and punching shear failure. The first two types of failure has been already described. The punching shear failure occur on soil of high compressibility. In such a failure, there is a vertical shear around the footing perimeter and the compression of soil immediately under the footing, with soil on the sides of the footing remaining partially uninvolved. In bearing capacity equation for strip footing for C5 soil, the ultimate net bearing capacity of the strip footing is given the equations. In case of general shear failure, the formula is QNF equal to CNC plus sigma dash NQ minus 1 plus half into B into gamma into N gamma. This is the formula for general shear failure. Next one is for in case of local shear failure. Then the formula is QNF equal to 2/3 CNC dash plus sigma dash NQ dash minus 1 plus half into B into gamma into N gamma dash. Sigma dash equal to effective surface at the base level of foundation. And here NC NQ N gamma means bearing capacity factor. These factors are computed from the following equations. That is NC equal to NQ minus 1 into cot phi. NQ equal to tan square 45 degree plus phi by 2 into e to the power pi into tan phi. And N gamma equal to 2 into NQ plus 1 into tan phi. These factors are given already in the next chart for various value of phi at 1 degree interval. This is the table for bearing capacity factor as per IS 6403-1981. Here already given all the value, that is phi and NC, NQ, N gamma. In case of for obtaining NC dash, NQ dash and N gamma dash corresponding to local shear failure, then we have to calculate the phi dash, and the formula of phi dash is tan inverse 0.67 into phi, and we already then get the value of phi dash. After that we put the value of phi dash, and we already given the value from this table bearing capacity factor for NC, NQ, N gamma. In case of shape factor, depth factor and inclination factor, the above bearing capacity equation applicable for the strip footing, it shall be modified to take the two accounts. The shape modified bearing capacity formulas are in general shear, in local shear. The formula of general shear is QNF equal to CNC SC into DC into IC plus sigma dash NQ minus 1 into SQ DQ IQ plus half into B into gamma into N gamma into S gamma into D gamma into I gamma into W dash. And for local shear failure, the formula is QNF equal to 2/3 into CNC dash into SC into DC into IC plus sigma dash into NQ dash minus 1 into SQ DQ IQ plus half into B into gamma into NQ dash S gamma, D gamma, I gamma and W dash. The shape factor is SC, SQ and S gamma. In this slide, firstly I have discussed about the depth factor, next shape factor, and then I also discuss about effect of water table. Firstly I have discussed about depth factor. Here the depth factor is given as under DC equal to 1 plus 0.2 into D by B into root N phi, and DQ equal to D gamma equal to 1 for phi less than 10 degree, and DQ equal to D gamma equal to 1 plus 0.1 D by B into root N gamma for phi equal to greater than 10 degree, where N phi equal to tan square 45 degree plus phi by 2. Here I also discuss about the table, that is shape factor given as per IS code, IS 6403/1981. Here in continuous strip the value of SC, SQ, S gamma is 1. In rectangular the value of SC, SQ, S gamma is 1 plus 0.2 into B by L, 1 plus 0.2 into B by L, and for S gamma the value of rectangular footing is 1 minus 0.4 into B by L, and in square the value of SC, SQ, S gamma is 1.3, 1.2 and 0.8. And for circular footing the value of SC, SQ, S gamma is 1.3, 1.2 and 0.6. The depth factor are to be applied when the backfilling is done with the proper compactions. The inclination factor is given as under IC IQ, that is 1 minus alpha by 90 whole square, and I gamma is 1 minus alpha by 5 whole square. Here alpha equal to inclination of the load to the vertical in degree. Next I have discussed about effect of water table. The effect of water table is taken into the account in the form of corrections of W dash. In first case, when water table likely to permanently remain at or below the depth of D plus B beneath the ground level surrounding the footing W dash, then W dash equal to 1. In second case, if water table located at depth D or likely to rise the base of footing or above, then W dash equal to 0.5. And in third condition, if water table is likely to permanently get located at depth D or less than dW or less than D plus B, then W dash equal to it to be obtained by linear interpolations. Hence we can say W dash equal to 0.5 into 1 plus ZW by B where ZW equal to depth of water table below the footing. So we can say ZW equal to 0, W dash equal to 0.5, and when ZW equal to B, then W dash equal to 1. In this slide, I have discussed about the plate load test. The plate load test is the field test to determine the ultimate bearing capacity of soil and the potable settlements under a given loading. The test essentially consisting of loading a rigid plate at a foundation level and determine the settlement corresponding load increment. The method assumes that down to the depth of influence of the stresses, the soil strata is reasonably uniform. Then I am discussing about the apparatus. Loading platform truss of sufficient size and properly designed members so as to estimate load reactions for conducting the test shall be used. The hydraulic jack of required capacity with properly calibrated load measuring device such as pressure gauge, electronic load cell or proving ring shall be used. Then bearing plate. Circular or square bearing plate of mild steel not less than 25 mm in thickness and varying in size from 300 to 750 mm. Then settlement recording device. Dial gauges with 25 mm travel capable of measurement the settlement to an accuracy of 0.01 mm. Then datum beam or rod. Beam or rod of sufficient strength capable to maintaining the strengthness when fitted on two independent supports fitted with the arms or magnetic base of holding dial gauges. Next, miscellaneous apparatus. A hall and socket arrangements, loading column, steel shafts, wooden blocks, collar, reaction girder with cradles of independent fitting to the reaction platform as necessary to the particular setup. Next is procedure. The first point of procedure is selection of location. The location for load test shall be based on exploratory boring and unless otherwise it desired shall be conducted at an elevations of the proposed foundation level under the worst estimated condition. In case the water table is within the depth equal to the width of the test plate, the test shall be conducted at water level. In case of water level is higher than the test level, it shall be lowered to the test level and maintained by pumping through a sump away from the test place. However, for the soil like cohesionless silt or fine sand which cannot be drained by pumping from the sump, the test level shall also water table level. Next is test pit. The pits unusually at the foundation level having in general normally of width equal to 5 times the test place or block shall have carefully leveled and clean bottom at the foundation level protected against disturbance or changes in natural formations. Next is dead load. The dead load of all equipment used such as ball and socket, steel plate, loading column, jack, etc. shall be recorded prior to applications of load increment. And last is size and shape of plate. Except in case of road problem and circular footing, square plates may be adopted. For clayey and silty soil and for loose and medium dense sandy soil with N less than 15 or 450 mm square plate or concrete block shall be used. In this case of dense and sandy or gravel soil where N less than 15 less than 30, 3 plates of size 300 mm to 750 mm shall be used depending upon the practical considerations of reactions, loading and maximum grain size. The side of plate shall be at least 4 times the maximum size of the soil particle present at this test location.